Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdets Newsstand, and today we are going to talk about another future state title, Superman of Metropolis #1. Now, we are only going to look at the Jonathan Kent story within this because there is two others, but I want to specifically talk about this one because it's something else. And I think you have to look at this story and realize that it is coming right out of Jonathan that was created by Bendis. And that really sets this up, and it says everything you need to know. And it really speaks to volumes to how much he's dumbed him down. And we see a Jonathan that is trying to do the right thing, but is unable to see the error in his own ways, and I want to talk about that as we go along. So if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe. As always, hit that like button, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of Jonathan Kent in this story. I would say it is going to be relatively divisive as to how he is taken by the audience, but I absolutely love this. Now, the artwork is by Bruce Timm, and this was the best art of the week. I loved it. Don't get me wrong, Joelle Jones did a great job, but this art is just spectacular. It is beautiful, and let's go through it. So we are in the Metropolis of tomorrow, where it's just enough of the future that we see a change to Metropolis, but we also see the familiar that we knew from before. So we have this Trojan, basically the founder, Andrej Trojan, the founder of Trojan Solution, has come in. And he has turned people into basically nanotechnology. And now they are fighting against that. They are fighting against brain cells. And by the way, whoever came up with the name brain cells is adorable. The creature's not adorable, but the name I absolutely love. And they're now the Free Republic of Metropolis. And we can see, it's like an autonomous zone. Okay, all right. So we see the government coming in and trying to take it over. Not just trying to take it over, trying to get brain cells back. And it starts off in a really good framing device. We see it from this little boy's perspective. He's crying for his mother. He's seeing people on both sides being really evil, and then a draw to fire. And we see Jonathan come in. And this picture is absolutely stunning. I love the way it is done. And the writer is Sean Lewis. I am glad that Philip Kennedy Johnson got the actual gig of Superman. I think he'll do a much better job. But to tell a Jonathan story, I think he's definitely qualified. So he saves this little boy. And we see a kaboom, right? Okay, shut up. Anyways, so he has to turn over brain cells to the government, and he's unwilling to do so. And we're not exactly sure why. He knows that Supergirl wants brain cells turned over, and unfortunately, he just won't. So we get to our first look at brain cells, and he is, as much as I love this name, that creature is disturbing. Like, this is something about a bunch of mouths that really just make you want to vomit. I don't know. I don't like the way it looks at all, but it's definitely creepy. It's supposed to be a villain. So he's basically protecting this brain cells because he needs the information that it has. He needs to use it to free the bottled cities, right? Because it's a direct descendant coming from the flesh of Brainiac. Okay, well, he's going to take off with it. Not only is he going to take off with it, we're going to get a glimpse a little bit into all of the battles that he has had. And that's, Brainiac, the original, 5 Empires, the Golden Gods of Creon, the Time Luchadors, and many, many more. But those are just a few. So he makes a decision. Probably the dumbest decision I've ever seen made out of Jonathan. Then again, we're coming right off of the Bendis actual run. Okay, so he decides that he is going to bottle up Metropolis to save it. Not realizing when he bottles this up, he is making every single person a prisoner. not realizing he is taking away their right to leave Metropolis, not realizing that what he's doing is actually kind of evil. Like, more than kind of. And Supergirl's not happy, right? She shows up and she sees Metropolis is gone, and she heads straight, and I mean straight, to the Fortress of Solitude. Well, she comes in, and there is some new substance, right, that makes Supergirl, who looks fantastic, I love it. She reminds me almost of her costume from Injustice too, right? I really do like it. But there is a substance that they're using that makes real Kryptonians, which Kara is, a little bit more agitated. So she's in a little bit more agitated form, whereas it doesn't affect Jonathan because he is half human. Now, Jonathan should have never been left alone with Metropolis, and we don't know why yet. That'll come later with Superman and with the Luxor, Imperial Lux titles when it comes to Lois. So this is as much their fault as it is Jonathan's for leaving somebody that is half human and half Kryptonian in charge of the city without a little better guidance, without a little more years of mentoring. So we see this fight in between them, right? And she's saying, you have to give me Metropolis, give me this. And she starts to get agitated, right? And she really starts going at him. We see him bleed. We see her go up above, and the army is on their way. And she's saying, you will turn over brain cells. Once the army gets here, you will. Now, we get a few days earlier, and I actually don't know much about who this character is. We haven't learned anything, but this emo look on Jonathan, I love it. I love it so much. It's so good. But she's talking to Jonathan a little bit about the job that isn't done. So we'll have to wait to see what that is. And then we're straight back to a fight. A very agitated Kara, and definitely a very uneducated Jonathan. So we see this same thing that agitates Kara here basically make this green massive explosion, and this ship arrives. No idea where the ship came from, no idea who's in the ship, but it's got to be Brainiac or some form of Brainiac, and you'll see why at the end. So we see Kara and Jonathan take right back off into the Fortress of Solitude to check out where and if Metropolis is safe, because my God, it's in a teeny tiny package. You're going to drop it and you're going to kill everybody, right? So very, very dumb move on his part. And of course, it's not safe because Brain Cells has basically done everything to this point to manipulate Jonathan straight down to the boy we saw in the beginning. He has manipulated him every single step of the way for this to be the ultimate goal. And of course, he is pissed and he wants Metropolis back, and he wants it back now. That's not going to happen because not only does he take, Metropolis into his mouth, or one of many mouths, it looks like at the end, and I could be wrong, if this ship is maybe, I don't know if it's making it bottled. I think that's what it's doing. I think it's bottling the Fortress of Solitude. It's definitely taking it somewhere. But I do like what he says. I do like what Brain Cell says. He says, like him, I will protect Metropolis from his greatest threats. Most notably, you. Now, here's the thing about this story. Jonathan. I love Jonathan in Super Sons. This Jonathan I like too, because he's very, very flawed from not having a mentorship or a father around or his Lois being gone. But he's not truly evil. And when I was reading this story, I was thinking, is he evil or is he dumb? And I think it's more along the lines as he is dumb to the evil actions that he's doing. His heart's there. He thinks he's protecting these people, but he's not. He's actually doing a really, really villainry, super villain, Lex Luthor type thing. So I love it. everyone's screwed. Metropolis is in a bottle. The fortress is in a bottle. And quite possibly Brainiac is taking off with it. All right. I love it. There is 2 backup stories, which is the Shiloh Norman version of Mr. Miracle, and then one about Jimmy Olsen. And I will cover those at a later date, but this story was so good. The art was so good. I really, really wanted to cover this in its entirety. I enjoyed the backup stories a lot, but this one was so good. It was, I don't know, I would say it was top 3 this week. It was definitely, I loved it. So let me know, of course, what you guys think about this. If you don't like this version of Jonathan, I totally understand. Just like with the version of Wally, I know a lot of people don't like. Sometimes I like a little psycho. I can't help it. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon and subscribe stars. You guys literally make this channel possible. Huge thank you to Cage the Mick, Robert Mick Twiz, Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris Z, David L, David Rafford, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Mighty Paws, Mike Buckner, Maizen Barbosa, Ruskart, Ryan Decker, Robert Hoffman, and Doc Holliday. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget on the way out to like as always if you enjoy the content and hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.